Some people asked if I would share, like, what's going on outside. So I'm like, okay. Not that I really want to, because I just want to focus on it. So, okay. I planted this corn. It's not the edible corn. It's like, it's the corn like you get in the bird seed or the squirrel food. And I had used the corn cobs for a decor thing for like the fall. And I had taken the corn off, and it was I put it in a jar, and then I had some left over, and I put it in a bag. So I took what I planted, what I had in a bag, and it's like, maybe I can make me some more. So I planted it. And this was like when we were supposed to have our last frost, like our determined last frost, or hard freeze. Anyway, well, turns out we had another one. An unscheduled other one. And so I thought the corn, because all I saw was like brown everywhere. So I'm like, okay, well, it's dead. I'll have to do this again. But I didn't get around to clearing it out. And surprisingly, the majority of it came back. And this is what you see here. So I'm very surprised and happy that it did. And I'm trying my best to keep it watered because we've had no rain. I don't even remember, honestly, the last time we had rain. I'm in North Florida. I can't remember. No, I'm not talking about your road shower or something like that. I'm talking about actual rain that soaks into the dirt. We haven't had any of that. Yesterday it was spotty in some places, but it wasn't here. And so every day, every morning, I have to water. Trying desperately to just like at least keep things alive if they don't progress past a certain point, That maybe sooner or later we might start getting some rain, some proper weather, and things can actually start doing what they're supposed to do. The corn is like inching along, yes. It's doing really good. But I'm always afraid that this drought is going to catch up fully. And it's going to start dying. Because we're in a severe drought here. All of our waterways, everything, like even the place I usually go that you've seen videos and pictures of, Little River, they're thinking of closing that until the drought is over because the lime rock they're afraid that with people going there, it will get destroyed in some way and will hurt the way that the place is. So they're thinking of actually closing it. That's how bad it's getting. This is what we call Granddaddy Graybeard. It hasn't bloomed. It actually got hit with a lawnmower too because it was just a stick sticking up in the fall. In the winter, and they didn't know. And this, if you remember, was my silk oak. It made it through the first 2 frosts. The third one, which a lot of my stuff got really, really hurt, and this was one of them. And I thought it was dead completely, but it has some little fronds near the bottom. So I just said cut it down to the base and let's see if it will come back. It really hasn't done much more than those little fronds at the bottom. So I don't know. It's my favorite tree. And I'm not going to cry about it. I can't do anything. Can't do anything to help it. This is my little wildflower place, which kind of ironic because it's like not the only one, because these things get carried by the wind and they come up in other places. So I've got a few areas, but this is what I intentionally put the little stepping stones around to make. And I've thrown some other seeds in here. Something funny, like I was at Dollar General and they had these little boxes of seeds, like $2, zinnias, baby's breath, I don't know, a mixture, marigolds. And I didn't pay attention to the writing on the box, which I'm sure a lot of people do, and usually I do, but I was just there and grabbing something else, and I saw them, and I'm like, I need some more seeds to throw in there. I'm just going to throw them in there. There's like only 20% seeds in the whole box. The other 80% is just some kind of filler, some kind of white filler stuff. So yeah, don't buy that. Sorry, I had a phone call. My husband's a truck driver, and he's home probably, I'd say 4 times a year would be actually stretching it. So he calls me every morning and evening. Ironically, the job that, one of the reasons why is because they have these things called blade projects. And it's where they haul windmill blades. I'm sure some of you may have seen them on the roads, and they're a pain in the butt. Some states they go through, they have a curfew, and they have to go through in the middle of the night or something like that because of the traffic. But when they have these projects, once they're on them, which could go for months, they can't stop. If they stop to go home, then they're taken off that project. And they have to wait for the next one to come along. So that's one of the big reasons why. But if you took the lower jobs or any other ones, hauling anything whatsoever, doesn't make the money. But ironically, if a mishap happens, if the truck breaks down, not just his, but any other ones on the same project that are with him, like he has steermen and stuff like that with him, if their truck breaks down, the whole thing stops. And if they don't get delivered, anything delivered before payday on Friday to where it can be put in, they don't get the money for that. So it's like you have to keep going or everything folds. So that's something we have to deal with. That is constantly stressing me and depressing me. Add that on to everything else having to do with social media. And I love it when, people talk about, well, you're a witch, fix it. And then the next thing you know, you're hearing a sob story from the very same people who told you that. Yeah, I'm going to be a little blunt here. I'm not going to name names or anything, but I'm going to tell it how it is. So I always have that going on to where you get to where I just don't want to say anything anymore. Let's just pretend to be happy-go-lucky because damn if you do, damn if you don't. Bullshit is what I see a lot of. And then I see a lot of, we should be activists because we're witches. I understand, I agree with that fully. But if one of those says, I need to take a mental break, an emotional break, it's okay, take care of yourself, it's all about you. But it seems like some other ones, if they say that, including myself, that's taken completely wrong, out of context, and I'm done with you. Again, damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's the little box I feel like I've been put in. And don't tell me I'm not. I see it. That's another thing. Oh, I'm empathetic about this. I know this. I can see this. I feel this. So do I. And I'm one of those people who will literally read between the lines, or no lines, actually. And then how some of us, it's like, I can't deal with the bluntness of this one. I can't deal with the bluntness of that one. I can't deal with the weakness of this one or that one. And then you'll watch one video of someone and completely judge them all on that one video. All on that one word, on that one phrase, on that one thought, on that one thing that they got. And mind you, I can see this happening to I see it because I'm one of those. I look at the comments. I look at the people commenting, and I look at the people not commenting that usually commented. Like, and this is after words of concern from someone, and then you're like, okay. And then you start seeing what is there now and what is not there now. Like, this is what's in my mind all the time. I see this stuff. I feel this stuff. All on top of what I feel for my stuff. It's all on me. I feel and see all of it. And sometimes that gets very draining. Like, you need to put up your boundaries and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about real life, okay? And I'm not saying that's not real. I'm just saying shit still happens. You can't go around constantly doing that with every single solitary thing. Real life is still going on, like your real everyday today life. Even if you connect it all together. Even if your practice and path is still connected to your real life. You're not superhumans. Sometimes things may happen to a lesser degree to you than someone else because of that. But you can't keep yourself separated from all of it all the time. Because other people are involved. Not just your little world. Other people are involved. Other circumstances are involved and intertwined with yours. You know, it's just like the mindset that I have with nature. And then someone wants to judge that. Don't say you don't. Or they see junk vehicles parked. Well, that just doesn't align. You know what? I'm not the only one that lives here. I'm not the only one with a hobby. I can't make this property and home all about me. Because it's not all about me. Because without the other people and their jobs and hobbies, I wouldn't be here. Desperately trying daily to keep the connection, regardless of their jobs and hobbies. My husband is a truck driver, and I don't agree with a lot of the circumstances of truck driving. My son works for a company that trims trees, you know, like the ones that get too high under your power lines. And they also have to spray. It's not, he says it's not that toxic chemical. I'm not going to tell you what he said it was. But that hurts me. That's his job. And sometimes you have to work jobs that even you don't agree with. Now my daughter has had a lucky time lately because she gets to work for someone that does a job that created her own business. Exactly what I always wanted through my whole life. And she gets to work for this person. Does that depress me? Yes, it does. But at the same time, I have to be happy for her. Because those days of wanting that type of business are gone for me. Years and I know some are saying, no, you're never too old. Sometimes you get your body responds in a way to the life that you have been living in a way that is not conducive to a way that you would prefer. I'm watering right now. Do you know how hard it is to hold on to this sprayer on this hose and to make this hose turn in the direction I need it to? Do you know how hard I have to hold on to that? And the fact that I have worked my hands so much on property after property and constantly having to move in and start all over again. The crafting I've done through my life, everything that I've done, I don't know how anybody does anything without using your hands repeatedly. This hurts. This hurts. Just to hold this. was my bottle brush. The third frost killed it, where it was trying to come back, but we found out it's coming back from the roots, and it's doing really good. All of my crepe myrtles were severely damaged, but they're coming back. We're going to wait after Easter so that we could have, you know, the meadow like to hunt eggs in, and that it would be mowed afterwards. Well, now the drought is so severe that people who have tried mowing their lawns, once or twice I've seen where the lawnmower caught their yard on fire because the grass is so dry. Not to mention the price of gas. That is hard enough to keep in the cars. And I've gotten to the point that, you know, all of these, because I don't have money falling out my rear end to keep replacing hoses and spray nozzles, they tend to leak. And yes, they have the little gaskets in them. Anyway, I will lay them down in a flower bed or something to let them leak into it. This is another place where my wildflowers have taken up residence. This was a strawberry bed. There are still strawberries in it, but they're underneath the wildflowers. And these wildflowers are so healthy, so it's like, I can't take you out. You're doing so good. I did have 2 fig trees in that area. They died from the frost. They just couldn't. They couldn't sustain it. They couldn't come back. I did move some strawberries over here. And I put, you can't see it. Now you can. This was from a greenhouse I had that the hurricane blew apart. And I saved this. Like, not, you know, beautiful laugh. I saved it, and I just like, I need to do something with that or get rid of it. And I don't like throwing something away if I can find a use for it. So I put it over them when I moved them. Like, maybe that will deter field mice or birds or whatever it is that likes to come and eat my strawberries. So that's that. This was my first this year wildflower patch. That thing there, I planted cucumbers under. One that I bought. And then on the side, some I planted in seeds. Slow growing, but they're still alive. I just try to keep them watered. My honeysuckle. My granddaughter and I picked a basket full the other day to dry. I want to make an oil infusion and then make a skin balm. They say it's good for anti-aging. I'd rather have something naturally made that's just as good for your skin, you know, instead of something with questionable chemicals in it that seems to Like all the plastic that seems to be in everything that just starts to become part of your body, and then that's the whole issue. So I have a new phone. I didn't choose to have a new phone. You know, that was fine with mine. But my husband was home a couple of weeks ago. He was putting garbage into the car, and because he was on his phone 24 freaking 7, which is a problem, while he was getting garbage in the back, he laid his phone down. I have one of those, I guess you call it a hatchback, whatever. It's not like a trunk, it's like a hatchback. He laid it down right where it closes down on, because he's so scatterbrained when he's always on the phone. And yeah. So he just, I'm over working in the yard as usual in the mornings. When he comes over, I gotta go and get a new phone. I just broke mine. So guess what? When he comes back, of course, there's always a deal to be had at Verizon. They had a deal. Add another line. There's so much taken off. Well, they finagled it to that my phone was added as another line, and I got an upgraded version. But he was told had more storage, but it doesn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, I lost a lot of stuff. I've lost some apps. I lost content. I lost, if you see me following you back on anything or subscribing again on anything, that's why. And no one understood nothing. It's like, I don't get it. What happened? Regardless. And since I don't have that much storage, a lot of things were taken away from me. And it just added, the whole episode just added a lot more stress to me. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just erase everything? Like, really angry, with a lot of depression mixed in with it. And so I went a little nuts. Like, okay, can't do nothing with my phone anymore. I'll just take it all away. So some things work. Some things, like YouTube, I'm like, who cares anyway? Like, I literally feel that way. I don't care what your reaction is to that. That is the feeling that I get. And my feelings to it are valid. Because, like, I think the last video I did was a garden update. You know, everybody's always asking for those. Like you're getting right now, looking at my yard and stuff. So I did that. Crickets. I was a little upset. Like, this honesty time, okay? Why should we just beat around the bushes anymore and make up shit and try to appear happy all the time when we're not? And then you see things like, I've had a lot of problems, everyone knows, in my life, and so I haven't been able to keep up with things. And so now there's an overrun of stuff. I'm paraphrasing. Overrun of stuff, and I can't keep up with it. But, you know, if you keep up with me, I'll keep up with you. Okay. Can you see my deal with that? Like what I was already feeling, and then that. I'm going to be honest, I see a lot of contradiction on several platforms, actually, not just YouTube. I see a lot of contradiction. And I see a lot of, and I might be doing that now. I don't know. I'm just speaking out loud on what my feelings are and what I'm thinking. But there's a lot of people that I follow and have subscribed to that, their path is not mine. Okay? I have very little in common with them. But when we started out, we were all like comrades, comrades in battle. Got to stick together kind of thing. And so we did. But apparently as time goes on, when people take their different paths, they can become unaligned with others. Still want you to keep up with theirs. They don't have enough time or energy to keep up with everybody else's. But please, help me keep my channel growing by liking and leaving a comment. How many times have I asked for that? And I try not to. I've always tried not to, because I felt like I was being pushy or desperate when I did that. And so sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm just going to try this because everyone else is doing it. So I try it. And I can't even get people to put a damn purple heart on something. Like, really? That's all I asked. You don't have to comment. Just purple heart. I love my channel. I don't have any friends. I want to be honest with you. Like when you find out later that even who you thought were your friends in high school, they're not really. Especially if you can't, change with them, become like them. And all of a sudden, oh, I'm a Christian. And so I can't have this. I can't be confronted with this. So they leave you. Unfollow you, unfriend you, ghost you. And then when you think you find this whole nother way with people that feel like they have to stand together because, I don't know, they're a whole nother breed, and so we have to stand together, have to support each other. I'm not going to cry about that either. I already have. So these welling up tears can just fuck off. But like, it always leaves you wondering, did I say something? Was there a word that just didn't sit right with someone? Was there a phrase that didn't sit right with someone? Was there a thing I bought, a thing I made, a thing I did? Anything. What was it? Am I not spiritual enough? Do I not paint my nails enough? Do I not buy enough shit? Do I garden too much? What is it? Because I don't know. I don't know what it is, honestly. I mean, even like I was saying a while ago, even part of me thought, well, is it because my property is not pristine? Is it because there's a wildlife habitat piled up for them with all twigs instead of being taken to the dump? I'm in the South. There are birds' nests in there. There are bunnies in there. That's done on purpose. There's a car in the field over there. Yeah. Again, people have hobbies, people have interests that live here, and some other people say, hey, could we do this, that, or the other, or can you, I'm having to move, and I can't take this right now, can you hold it for me? So many things. We have strong winds here, unlike on any given day, Some things may be blown, in the yard that I don't know about when I come out and start doing a video. Oh, that's a turn off. I'd like to tell you where to go with that. Right now, I'm like, because I got a phone call with the first video, guess what I don't have anymore? The app that let me piece them together. So there's that to deal with. I don't have my app anymore to identify plants. I don't have, when you go on Google and you take a picture to search it, my phone won't do that now. I was told I had too many pictures. Too much taking up my storage space, that I needed to buy some more. No one asked me, like I've had 2 people on YouTube that when I replied to one of their videos, 2 people asked me or say they miss me. 2 people, 2. Of course, it's the 2 that I would have expected it from. One person on Facebook asking me if I was that person that had that channel. And that I missed it. And then always seeing comments like, you don't need other people to validate you. You only need to validate yourself. And yet I see constantly people needing validation. Contradictions. Constant contradictions that I constantly notice. So when my cat had gotten out of the house, like when, especially in the country, in the past, my older cat and his brother, when he was alive, were sitting on a windowsill in a dilapidated single wide that we were having to live in at the time. The screen fell out, and so they fell out onto the ground together at the same flipping time. Okay, mind you that, keep in mind. I managed to get them and put them back in the trailer. But the oldest one, I guess it was the smells. I don't know what it was. But he flipped out and literally proceeded to attack his brother, who he acted like he didn't know anymore. Yes, they were both fixed. Well, when my youngest one here had gotten out, and I tried to get them back in, you know there's always judgments like, shouldn't your cat come to you? You know you can go that too. No, it's because the smells. Like he was immediately probably thrown back to when he was a kitten trying to survive outside. And so he freaked out. See, these are things I automatically understand. I know some don't, but I do. And so we kept trying. It's like, well, get a live trap. So I searched for the best one recommended from Tractor Supply and went and got it. It came with an additional smaller one that we didn't need. So we gave that to a friend. Anyhow, I caught a possum. And then the older male cat who doesn't even live here. That's it. We moved it several places. We put it to their entrance underneath the house. We did everything. Put it on the porch right smack front of them and put wet food in there that they would have died to have. They ignored it. My cat ignored it. So it didn't do any good. Just by chance one day he was on the porch and I coaxed him and he walked in. That's how that worked. Anyway, these wild cats. Not my cats. Just another thing we inherited from living here. Not all of them. The big male cat, which I don't know where he lives. The main or the first mama cat. Every now and then we'll have another strange one come up here. I don't know where they come from. Well, you live in a dead-end road in the middle of bumfuck Egypt. You know, can't determine that because there's woods and stuff. And when someone says, you just need to trap them and take them to be fixed. Well, number one, when you can't trap them. And number two, when your own, like, vets around here decide that they are too good to just be taking anybody anymore, and we, you know, we're going to charge you up the wazoo now. So if you're determined enough to get an animal fixed, you're going to pay for it out of your butt. So then you go to like one of those places that I guess could be considered a rescue, or, you know, helps with things like that. And they're like 3 months waiting list. And that's if you're lucky and if someone cancels. How are you supposed to trap an animal and then wait 3 months? And then that just be an if situation. And then, you know, the ones, well, you're Humane Society. I heard our Humane Society at this point is having a legal dispute. Yeah. So I'm happy for you if you live in a city where things work always the way you think they're supposed to. I'm happy for you. That's great. But there are some of us, you got to understand, that don't have those situations that are always so easy to handle. And so I have to deal with these cats all the time. I feed them because I can't not. My heart won't let me not. I've tried, and it kills me to see them sitting on the porch and just wanting food, so I feed them. Some days I don't have anything to feed them but the scraps from our dinner. But I try to give them something. And it's really hard right now with no water. Like I was telling my husband a while ago, I'm surprised that people's wells have not started drying up. I literally am. And I continue to do this video not even knowing how I'm going to even put it together and put it on. I don't know. But I always feel so disoriented on where the hell I belong in any of this. And why the hell do I have to always make allowances for somebody else when I can't have the same thing? Like, that's something that really fucking bothers me.